It's time for ACC Central, presented by Just Means Less.
I drive into right. It's enough. It's back. And it's gone for the cycle. It's a walk-off grand slam. Florida State wins it.
Hosted by Monty Taylor.
In the air, center field. Moore is under it. And on to Omaha for the Cardinals.
Micah Butel.
Fly ball driven into left field. Spin. Does he do it? He does. A walk-off homer by Ken Schmidt.
And Nick Dioli.
Gets it down. Here comes Mac. He is safe. And Boston College wins.
Fastball off the plate for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Monty just got landed on.
There are 2 pigeons roosting right above me, and my can of Pepsi
Smacked into right field. And a
Welcome back to another episode of ACC Central, and do we have a special treat for you? Nick and I are being joined by a very special guest from the Big 12, Micah Butel. Micah, how you doing, buddy?
You know, it's good. Big 12 country has been treating me well. It's just a different league out there. So, you know, it's just nice to be back where it means less.
Are we launching a sister channel called Just Means Different?
We might have to at this point.
I kind of love it. I when you made that joke, I was like, I'm in. Why not? But no, glad to have you back, Micah, because we're going to talk some bracketology. We tried talking some bracketology last week, but Nick and I, that's not our area, but it is yours.
Did you find Cotton Eye Joe?
No, because where does he come from? Where does he go?
But you were looking. We don't know.
You were looking this whole time. Come on. Did you find any clues? Anything?
All I got was this silly shirt.
Now, Micah, you were on Lamar baseball this weekend, right? Yep. And Nick and I were at Wake Forest. Well, I was all over the place. I went to Wake Forest twice, though. The curse appears to be broken in a very weird way. 2 umpires were
murdered.
They're locked. Yeah, essentially. And a lot of other things happened. It was a 4.5-hour game, my longest game of the year. It was even before extra innings, it would have been my longest game of the year. The Jay Johnson special in Jacksonville had previously been my longest game of the year. But Wake Forest sweeps. Nick went to 2 of those games. I went to 2 of those games. I got to talk to Tage Davis and Dan McDonnell.
I had people from the booth telling me you need to get Monty out of here when it went to extra innings on Friday or on Thursday.
I was being blamed for the umpires. I was being blamed for everything. It was hilarious because I literally said right before Tage Davis, so it was 5-1 Wake Forest, and Zion Rose hit it. The bases are loaded. Zion Rose ropes one through the infield for 2 RBIs to make it 5-3, and there's runners on first and second at that point, or first and third. And I said, Tage Davis is coming up. And I said, I might have to leave if Tage Davis does what we all know he can do here. First pitch, gone. 2 pitches, and all of a sudden Wake Forest is down 6-5 after being up 4 runs.
Is that really your fault, though, that they kept pitching Tage Davis?
No, you're right. And they did also figure out the way to kind of they did figure out a little bit of a formula to get Tage Davis. It'll be interesting to see moving forward how teams handle Tage Davis because, you have to perfectly execute the pitch. The slider away from a lefty is I think Tage has trouble either laying off of it or making contact because in the game on Saturday, game 3, all 3 times he came up, I think he struck out facing Zach Johnston and Reese Bowie, both lefties. And I think Reese Bowie in the last at bat threw 5 straight sliders, and he whiffed on 3 of them. The problem is it's easier said than done to execute that pitch perfectly, because if you get too much of the plate, he will send it out. So, that might have already been the formula to get him, and people just, it's harder to execute that pitch than you think. But Wake Forest executed it after he hit a home run in the first inning. So 30 home runs. Nick, what's the record for home runs in a season for ACC?
In a season?
Yeah.
By one player? Doesn't Brock Wilken have that record?
I didn't ask who had it. I asked what it was. God,
I think it was.
It's 31, and 2 players
31?
are holding it. Yep, 2 players hold it. Brock Wilken is one. JD Drew is the other. So that record, I would imagine will fall because Tague hit 30. What's impressive is Tague Davis has hit 16 of his 30 home runs in ACC play. You would be surprised to know, you would be surprised to know who is second with 10 home runs in against ACC competition. You guys will be shocked. He plays for Duke. Matthew Strand has 10 home runs in ACC play alone. And remember, if it wasn't for Cider Cannon, his playing time would be diminished. But before we talk about Wake Forest, I did want to talk to you guys about Tague Davis and the Golden Spiked conversation. Obviously, Landon Hairston's in there, but I got to think Tague Davis is right in that conversation. If you're looking at 3 finalists, I would imagine Tague Davis has done enough to be in that conversation. Micah, you want to start?
No, I mean, 100%. It's hard, though, because a lot of times those awards don't go to people who are on teams that aren't going to make the tournament. Yeah. Yep. So that's the only flaw there is I just don't think that you're going to – like, it's one thing if your team's maybe not the top, a top 25 team, but to complain, Louisville looks like they're completely cooked at this point. So, yeah, it just doesn't look – minus a run in the ACC tournament. Yeah. It doesn't look like he's going to be on a tournament team, so –
yeah, I think it was already an uphill battle going into Wake Forest, right? Because they had either the worst or the second worst RPI in the conference going into Wake Forest.
Big 12 Micah has to remind you there's Harry Bonds is just chilling over there at Arizona State. So
he has been a little cool as of late.
But he's also getting walked a lot. That's part of it too.
Which is also helping his numbers because Tague doesn't get walked nearly as much.
Correct.
So, but Landon Hairston, a lot of fun to watch. So it's going to be, I think Landon Hairston's has to be the front runner right now, but to me, Tague Davis is right there and deserving, but you're right that it is going to hurt him being on a team that's not going to Omaha, but maybe, hey, what if he just hits 10 home runs over the next 6 games?
Then you kind of have to. I mean, he's got a shot to get, how many RBIs does he end up on or how many is he at right now? Like 86?
Yeah, I think 86. He should get to 100.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, dude. What's more impressive?
He's at 80. He's at 80.
Or 100 RBIs.
He's at 84. I think 30 home runs right now. I mean, depends on the year because it feels like they had the balls juice last year, and this year doesn't feel like they have. So I don't know. But Nick, what are your thoughts on it before we talk about Wake, Micah's favorite topic?
Man, dude, Tague is just unbelievable. I mean, he not only he's got the power, he's obviously the star player, but I mean, just the clutch factor too.
How annoyed were you that they pitched to him in the 8th inning on Friday night?
Oh my goodness!
Because they had a mound visit.
No,
they obviously talked about it and then chose not.
They had a mound visit. I believe Marcelo Hirsch was pitching.
Yep.
And
very good freshman.
Pitches. He left one right over the heart of the plate, and Tague sent it a mile.
Which is funny because Hirsch otherwise fantastic in his 2.2.
Otherwise, he was great all weekend.
He's been a very special freshman. I don't think a lot of people are talking about him. Evan Jones is barely getting enough coverage, much less Marcelo Hirsch. But let's talk about Wake Forest, guys. They're safely in, right? I mean, now the question is, are they going to be a host? And Nick, you and I talked about it. We didn't think so, but a sweep of Louisville. What did they sweep Duke? What are we looking at there, Micah?
Sweeping Duke doesn't really do that much either.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing.
That would give them 17 ACC wins, right?
Yeah, like
honestly,
what's going to help them is their ACC record is going to be pretty solid. That's obviously a beneficial piece. But I mean, you're looking at an RPI right now of 21. I don't see it, especially like I know, like, and this could be really silly, but like, why would you pick Wake Forest over Boston College? You get a new regional area of the country you wouldn't get, where you get obviously North Carolina is going to host. You're going to have one team at the bare minimum in the state of North Carolina hosting.
Yeah.
So why would you not want to potentially go to a team higher up in the standings, new location, like? And again, this is not a shot at the Couch. The Couch is not a big ballpark. So anyone that wants to be like, well, Boston College's stadium is not very big. Yes, it's not as big as the Couch, but I mean, it's like a couple hundred people difference. It's not like it's 5,000 seats different where the NCAA can make so much more money. And again, it's all about money, guys. You have to bid to host a regional. I don't know if anyone knows that. This is news to people listening, but like you have to bid to host a regional. So like, I don't think that's going to play a role. I mean, Virginia is a more attractive host, and they have the series over Wake Forest.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, standings-wise, Wake Forest is, a game, half a game, whatever it is, based off how many games have been played up on Virginia. But it just doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion, for them to go with Wake. Again, only having one ACC weekend left. Honestly, though, the best thing that's ever happened to Wake Forest this year is Western Carolina being super good. Like, Western Carolina is the best team in the SoCon, guys. They're a top 50 RPI. I don't know if y'all know that, but like that's actually a better RPI situation than Duke is right now.
How many SoCon teams are in the top 100? There's got to be a good number.
3 or 4. ETSU Mercer for sure. Western Carolina for sure. I think Sanford also is in the top.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, the SoCon is a great baseball conference, for the mid-majors. Probably close, I would say closer to, to having an argument for 2 bids than say the A10.
I mean, like when I was doing my bracketology, I couldn't convince myself to let them put Mercer in, but I was like, Mercer's got the RPI and the predicted RPI after what they play the rest of the year to justify, like, they got to the SoCon championship and lost to Western Carolina. Like, why not Mercer? Like, is it really worth giving the SEC a 13th team over Mercer? I don't think so. But again, I'm not.
They have Chris Katz.
So
they have Chris Katz.
And it's funny because RPI is the most important. Seems like it's like the most important factor, but it's not the be all end all, right? We're going to get to that when we talk about somebody like Clemson, right? Where when we talk about their RPI might be interesting at the end of the year, but Wake Forest safely in as a 2 right now, Micah.
Yeah,
pretty much locked in. I mean,
they're safe. I mean, it would kind of take a really weird scenario for them not to be, but. I mean, like I did debate putting them as a host, but again, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So they're going to be like that. Like again, they're seeding out the 1 through 32 this year. Don't be surprised if they're in that 18 to 24 range, right? Where they're maybe not the snub that should have hosted, but they're going to be right on that fringe. And like for example, I had them going to Tuscaloosa in my most recent one. Like, I think Wake Forest might be better than Alabama.
Right.
Like,
sometimes I know you always want
like are so wishy-washy that like I'm not saying that Wake Forest can't escape that regional.
Both teams can go on an Omaha run. Both teams can go 0-2.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is this?
Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Monty.
The other day I did like a thumbs up and something came up too. It's something weird going on, but no, it's a good point. I mean, obviously your preference is always to host, but I do agree with you, Micah, that in many cases being a 2 seed can be better. The only problem there is you don't get to pitch off necessarily, which you have more of an opportunity to do if you're facing a 4 seed first off. But let's talk about Florida State and Pitt. Florida State swept Pitt. Pitt's cooked now, right? Because I thought they were already going to be in trouble because of the 1-5 record against Cal and Virginia Tech. Now they've been swept by Florida State. Micah, where are they kind of hanging out?
I mean, I had them as one of my first 4 out. The RPI is giving me hope. They still have. I mean, they're gonna.
They have a tough schedule, right? Their
RPI is gonna go up this weekend by just playing North Carolina. I'm really sad because I wish Pitt could justify canceling their PNC Park game tomorrow because
they did.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, inclement weather. It is canceled.
Hallelujah. I'm sorry, Pitt fans that like watching their team play in the most beautiful Major League ballpark that I've ever been to, prefacing that I've not been to San Francisco, Nick, so I'm not taking a shot at your team.
It's okay.
But, yeah, that's a miracle because that was an RPI 300. That would have just
playing that game, yeah.
Like they need – I mean, I know they don't want to really cancel Penn State for the regional rivalry thing, but, like, if it wants to rain next Tuesday too, go ahead and just – flush that one too. I mean, Penn State,
which is a shame.
yeah, honestly. But like, and I hate to say it, like, actually, Monty, do you want a quick 1 minute Micah tirade that I've been bottled up inside, and it just only makes sense that my reappearance decides to give out?
Yeah, hit it.
People that get mad about the RPI cancellations at the end of the season need to understand how college baseball works. Most teams play more than the minimum games required. For this reason, if you want to cancel a game at the end of the season, people don't always process too. These are college kids. They're tired. It's also exam time. I mean, yes, I understand a lot of them aren't student athletes as much as they used to be.
In the ACC, they are, Micah.
Yeah, true. But I mean, let's be real. Shout out ChatGPT for helping a lot of these kids pass. But like, again, for example, I'll just use my Lamar example. We play Sam Houston tomorrow. That game means absolutely nothing. Neither team's going for an at-large. Like, it's at this point, it's conference play.
Yep.
Both teams are running out of arms. Both teams are exhausted. Players are banged up because it's just the nagging part of playing 50-some games. Like NC State choosing to cancel their game, be mad at them, but like there is literally zero benefit to playing that game besides maybe letting the walk-on get a hit in the 7th inning. Like, nobody benefits from that. So I understand it stinks. Again, you're talking to someone that wants to go to as many college baseball games as possible. It sucks when a Tuesday game gets banged, but like, it's just not that big of a deal, y'all. It's not. But anyways, that said, Pitt, I mean, thankfully, I'd like to think that they still have a shot because if they can get one in Chapel Hill and then, I mean, I think you might need to sweep Notre Dame, but if you even just take the series, you're going to be sitting fringe. Like, and the bubble this year is messy because what's going to happen is like the committee's going to have to pick between a Utah team, a Louisiana team, a Vanderbilt team whose RPI is going to be in this, like basically Virginia from last year, right? They'll have the conference record, but not the RPI. Or you're going to have to pick a Miami of Ohio who didn't win the MAC, let's say, or Kent State if they don't win the MAC, whichever one of those teams doesn't win the MAC tournament. Or a Missouri State who's in 5th place in the Conference USA, but RPI-wise screams put them in. Like, so there's an argument for Pitt based off the league they play in, but I don't know. You got to go 5-2 the rest of the way to feel pretty comfortable with the chance, like a reasonable chance.
And we're not the SEC. We're not going to necessarily get the benefit of the doubt either. Like,
Well, the problem is it's not even just that. You're Pitt. You've not been to the tournament. Like, what? Since when? Or ever?
95.
That's right. My lifetime. So, like, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt because of the fact. I mean, I think this logo should get them in alone. Just put them in because of that. But,
I love it.
I mean, yeah,
going 1-5 against Cal and Virginia Tech is just brutal. They had it right there.
Let's not get too into the weeds here, but like Virginia has not been overly impressive as of late. So like,
hey, we're gonna get to them.
Yeah, so I'll say it that time. But like,
yeah, that's the only issue is like, Micah, you gotta save some for a little bit later. FSU, how are they looking for a national seed? They gotta be feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think they should host. I don't think they're gonna get top 8. I don't think that's coming back.
Just a little too picture
for them. But if you can if you can just host, which I had them hosting. Excuse me, like. I think you'll take that if you're a Florida State fan.
Yeah, it looks like they're back on track. I mean, the problem is this conference is so deep. I feel like that a bad weekend is possible. I mean, Stanford is a tough team, especially when you go out there. But Stanford and Notre Dame are probably both out, right? Too little, too late for them.
Yeah, I think so.
Micah, FSU was a 9 last year. Do you see them getting up to that point?
I had them as a 10 in mine. I don't know if they'll get to a 9. but maybe. I mean, again, it's plausible. Their issue right now is just I think they'll get knocked a little bit for how they've played, and I'm not determined they're going to go 500 the rest of the ACC play either. I mean, I don't think Clemson's dead yet, and I'm never gonna I don't think Miami's gonna be throwing the towel in either. I know that's in Tallahassee, but those are two very difficult series for Florida State to kind of end it. And again, getting swept at Stanford is just loud. Like that is incredibly I don't know which is worse, Florida State getting swept at Stanford or Virginia getting swept at Pitt. I'm really not I really don't know which one is more of a pop off the screen, almost like we're going to cross you out kind of thing. Cause I mean, Stanford technically is worse than Pitt. And I know
Pitt also, but on the other hand, Pitt dominated two of those games, and Stanford walked off.
I think the scores would probably make it. And again, you could also use the Florida State had to fly across the country argument. But again, it was, in my opinion, a lot louder when Stanford almost, again, maybe that's just my Virginia bias knowing what happens when they go to Pittsburgh every year. So,
except for when you were there.
Except for when I was there. So shout out to, sorry, Pitt, didn't mean to ruin that fun for you, but.
So, but Notre Dame and Stanford both probably Stanford's definitely too little too late after getting swept this weekend at Notre Dame. Notre Dame finally able to close out some games. I mean, not super pretty, but they got it done. But I mean, it's got to be too little too late for Notre Dame with, all the close losses that have come their way. I'd imagine they're in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and their conference records just
that too. That's right. Yep.
The best they can do is 14-16. That's sweeping Pitt on the road. This Oakland series is awful for them. RPI wise, their RPI is going to be worse by the end of the season. They are the needs the tournament run. Probably win the ACC honestly.
Yeah. It's a shame because I feel like they had a tournament caliber team, but the bullpen could just never get figured out. And that ends up being the difference there. We've seen that very thing play out for 3 years at Virginia Tech, but we might have a reversal of trends here, Micah. The Hokies RPI is kind of propping them up. They're 25-21. They've won 3 straight ACC series. Micah doesn't look too confident about them. I can see it on his face.
Well, the problem is they have one ACC series left, and it's Clemson. And I think that's 50-50, depending on what happens with Clemson this weekend. Not to say they give up, right? But if Clemson's playing for something, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if Virginia Tech is more talented than Clemson. They're playing better baseball than Clemson, but I don't know if they're more talented. This Wednesday midweek at Liberty might be the biggest midweek that I can think of in the ACC this year, to be honest. I know we've had some big ones, Georgia Tech, Georgia. Probably do actually hold more weight, but
season
if Virginia
defining.
Tech can go to Lynchburg, Monty, I don't know what you're doing Wednesday, but I know you don't normally go too far up, but that might be one you might want to consider popping into. That's just,
especially
if I was close, I'd be going. I know that, but it's just, that's a huge one for the Hokies, especially because they always do a really good job of not getting swept, but they also are not doing a very good job of sweeping. So they keep just kind of keeping that door open just a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I never want to cheer against my beloved Cal Bears, but I kind of wanted Virginia Tech to finish off the sweep.
Can we also talk about how we gave Nick crap, and you and I both agree that Virginia Tech was the worst team in the conference about a month ago? And now we're talking about them potentially being on the bubble. I just think this conference is crazy. Shut up, Nick. You're not getting any credit for this.
Don't worry. I thought about this today. I did think about this.
Well, Cal's not the worst team in the conference, so I'm just throwing that out there.
It's true.
I mean, honestly, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. Obviously, Big 12 Micah, SEC Micah, whatever nicknames you want.
There is no SEC Micah.
But I was standing up for our wonderful league here in the Atlantic Coast Conference. The bottom of the ACC is definitely better than the other two bottoms.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even close. Clemson was, or I guess technically still is tied for last place.
let's say it's Notre Dame and Clemson. You've got potentially pitcher of the year on one of those teams.
Yeah.
And then you've got Clemson on the other. Like,
well, again, South Carolina, 15th in the SEC. Clemson has the series on them. So, like, that alone, there's a literal head-to-head. I've watched Missouri baseball. I don't mean this as a slight because I do like the people that work at Missouri baseball, but they're not very good. In the Big 12, Houston, again, really like the Houston people.
Wait.
Really
I thought Houston was going to Omaha. Last I checked, they beat Wake Forest, and I have not checked in on them since.
Yeah,
so I
Houston
assume
they'd play all their games in Puerto Rico because that's the only place they know to win. I think they've won more games in Puerto Rico than they have actually at their home ballpark. I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretending like it's true. Like, they've won 4 conferences. They're brutal, guys.
Does everyone make the Big 12 tournament?
No, you will not see the Houston Cougars.
You
will not see the Houston Cougars and surprise Arizona, my friends.
Dang it,
dude.
So
I was looking forward to my steak that he was gonna buy me up there.
But like, it's just rough, man. Like, it's the bottom of those 2 leagues are much worse than the ACC. Like, I don't really know who the worst team in the ACC
and
is.
The problem is it changes every week and they eat each other alive.
Like, I'm pretty sure when I did my power rankings that will come out Wednesday, like, I think I had Cal 16, and like, it feels wrong, but like, I don't know who else you put there. Like, there's just at some point you have to look at the standings and just go, well, you have the worst record, so I guess you're 16th. Like,
I think I might have had Notre Dame in mind, but
yeah, I think Notre Dame may have been my 16th, but I'm not sure because, like, again, they're technically a game and a half because they've played 3 more games.
Oh,
like,
Duke might have been mine after getting. Well, I don't know.
But like, even Duke, like, it's hard to justify them being the worst because they got a win over North Carolina on that ACC weekend. Obviously, they got smacked yesterday, but they also got a win against NC State. They took the series against Louisville. Like, I mean, you can almost argue Louisville is the worst.
You know what's even crazier is that we talk about the depth of this conference and, like, the bottom of this league is really good, but we're still sitting here with 2 weeks left of the season and we probably only have 8 locks right now. Like that's the least amount of locks.
I don't even know if you have 8.
In, like,
you probably do, but I don't even know if you have 8.
NC State being the 8th.
That or Miami.
Those are the 7 and 8s. You would think.
Like, I'm a little worried with Cuvée being out. What Miami is.
Yeah.
Like,
I wasn't really worried about their offense the other day. The pitching just fell apart.
Because, like, I mean, I do think Louisville's gonna. Again, I don't think they're gonna. Like, I don't see Dan McDonald's teams quitting. Like, they're not gonna.
I don't see any of these teams quitting. That's the problem.
So, like, if Louisville goes into Miami and takes 2 or 3, are we gonna be shocked? No. Are we picking Miami to take a series in Tallahassee down ACC play? I'm not. So, like, if you lose your last 3 ACC weekends, and again, NC State being the first one of those 3, the other team that's kind of in question, like, your ACC weekend series have been Cal, Stanford. They had the Wake one, which was impressive. Virginia Tech, Clemson, Duke. Like, not the greatest of series is to hang your hat on, per se.
NC State's best shot is to win at Stanford, right? So they don't have to, and then win 1 game against North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
But if they lose,
they're 3 and 3. I think if you get swept by North Carolina but sweep at Stanford, I think
it'll be fine.
Sitting pretty.
Like, I mean, this series, this weekend for NC State was a season saving win.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was gutsy. It was a tough one because I was there for the rubber match and it was back and forth, a lot of fun, but yeah. So yeah, my question was, what does Miami have to do to host? But that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But State, are they on the bubble still technically, or do you think they are off the bubble and then if they lose to Stanford, they're back on the bubble?
I mean, I think the way I look at it is if you sit as a 3 seed in my bracketology, you're a bubble team. So
right, because it's so close.
That category, but like they're not one of my last 4 in. Like Virginia Tech would be my last 4 in of the ACC teams. So no, I wouldn't put them like at that point. But like, and again, like I said, the bubble is really messy because like I have a hard time imagining the committee leaving a 17 and 13 SEC team out. That's going to be Vanderbilt. barring Vanderbilt just down their leg, like they play Missouri this weekend. They're probably.
I could have sworn I saw a worse record for them. What? I must have been looking at somebody else's thing.
Tennessee and Kentucky have bad SEC records. So does LSU.
Maybe I think I was looking at.
So Vandy's 10-14 right now. So you're not wrong.
Oh, okay.
But
that's
they
what it was.
finish at Missouri for 3 and South Carolina for 3. So you're
okay. So
like 16-14. I know I said 17, but like you're probably going to be above 500 in SEC.
No, that makes sense.
And that's going to be hard to leave them out. Again, it's going to hurt their RPI, right? Like going to like their best RPI opportunity is probably on Tuesday against Louisville.
Yeah.
Or at Missouri, which again, that's not great. So like, I mean, I would be shocked if Vanderbilt does not go 6-1 down the stretch, which would put them with 33 wins, 23 losses, so 10 games above 500 and an above 500 SEC record. And so, like, it's hard to.
And
be poopy. Like, is the committee
SEC,
really going to leave the SEC out? Probably not.
The SEC also does a really good job marketing their own teams and making it like really forcing it in there. And they get some help from ESPN because I've seen the TV broadcasts where they get some.
And again, like, it's not fair, but like. Vanderbilt's brand is going to hold weight because everyone just thinks that, again, this was the number 1 national seed last year. So like
who they lose to?
Yeah, exactly. Team that play tomorrow night. But it's just it's
and
Wright
State
question marks there. So yeah, I just don't. I'm not super worried about NC State or Miami right now, but I'm also kind of just like in my bracketology, I left out Tennessee, and that's hard to imagine because like
but Tennessee Henry Ford
because of it, but like I don't think they're very good. I've said that from day one. They swept Bama. I don't think Bama's like the world's greatest team. Like it's just
but they're hosting because who knows?
Because their RPI is incredible, and it's the SEC.
And we love Rob Vaughn.
We do love Rob Vaughn.
Yeah. Rob Vaughn, he's the guy.
When Alabama plays good baseball, they're really, really good. Problem is they don't like to do that all the time.
Are they like we just talked about them in similar fashion to Wake Forest? You think that's a pretty fair comparison?
They're Wake Forest with the RPI to save them,
right?
Like,
right.
Like if Wake Forest has that same RPI, the Wake Forest is like in the same boat, right? We're like, are we sure? But they got to host because, like, again, like, am I going to give it to Nebraska, who just got swept by who was it? Like, I don't even remember who it was. Someone in the Big Ten that wasn't very good, but like. I don't know. Kansas might be a national seed, guys. This is a weird season.
I did see that. I'm like, my goodness, Kansas just keeps going up. It's wild. Okay, Clemson, Boston College. Let's first start with Boston College. How it would be awesome for BC to get a hosting thing, but it took a big hit this weekend. They win the AJ Colorus to start, then they get run ruled. Brady Miller has been fantastic all year. Has his worst start of the year. His ERA only went up to 4.34. By the way, after giving up 9 earned runs and only getting 1 out. But they run rule there, and then Clemson comes from behind to beat Gavin Suarez late in the game on Sunday for Clemson. I think only their second ACC series victory of the year. Boston College takes a big hit. Obviously, Boston College they're going to get RPI boosts just from playing Georgia Tech. But they're also going to lose some RPI from just playing NJIT. But they have trimmed that series to 2 games, by the way, or 1 game or something. Screw you, balloons. But Nick, what would you do to get a Boston College regional?
What would I do?
Yeah, tell me, what would you do? Describe in detail. Preferably keep it suitable for work. How did you not prepare for this question? You knew this was coming.
I have my answer. I will stay up again for 3 nights in a row instead of 2 to watch BC in the ACC tournament till 3 a.m. How's that?
We'll see. All right, Michael, talk to me about BC's hosting chances. What do they need to do now? 20 ACC wins probably still the number, which would mean they would have to sweep, I believe. They're 17 and is it 17 and 9?
They're gonna have to pray that the Tuesday UMass Lowell game disappears.
Oh yeah.
take the 2 against NJIT and dominate them, like almost to the point where like the RPI blow is not massive because the RPI is going to be hurt, but there's other metrics, right, that take more into the run differential like ELO does. Like, so you kind of get that, like, but maybe you get bumped up a little bit more there, or at least you don't lose brownie points there kind of thing. And then again, it would be an incredibly loud statement to take this series versus Georgia Tech to where I think that momentum, as long as you maybe get to the semifinals of the ACC tournament, might be enough. Again, talk about the metrics of it. There are people out there that still feel bad for BC from 3 years ago when they should have hosted over Alabama, where they were wrongfully sent to Tuscaloosa instead of, other way around. So there's that world. Again, like, do they want to give the ACC 4 hosts and then give the SEC only 6? That would be ideal. I think that's a lot more balanced. I don't think one league should have almost half the hosts, but we've seen that before. So
how good
like it can't happen.
And how good would it be for college baseball to have a team in the Northeast? It hasn't happened since 2019 when UConn got a
when I did my bracketology 3 weeks ago, a month ago, like, and this may have been me just trying to manifest things that probably weren't going to happen, but like I had a Lawrence regional, I had a Lincoln
That's
regional.
happening.
So we had 2 Midwest regionals. We had 2 regionals out in LA because we had, both UCLA and USC hosting. You had a regional in Corvallis, so obviously you get the Pacific Northwest covered. You also then had, only 2 in the Carolinas, which I know we love the Carolinas here, but it is nice to space it out a little bit, right?
2 would be good, yeah.
Yeah, and then you had a Northeast regional. So you had plenty of coverage. You weren't oversaturating one part of the country like we've done in years past. We had 2 or 3 in Texas. Like, it was kind of just perfectly aligned in ways that it hasn't necessarily been in years past. So I was rooting for it, but I just don't see it happening now.
Did you ever?
You're not going to want to see this BC team. Like right now, I had them in the Oregon State regional in my bracketology, and I'm like, I have them playing Michigan, who's also a very fundamentally focused team. Like, talk about small ball USA there in Corvallis in the first game. Whoever wins that might be able to paper cut Oregon State to death. So who knows? Like, that would be fun.
Did you ever have a Eugene regional?
I did at one point, not now. People are saying they should do it. Like, I don't like. This is not a shot at Oregon because I used to be the one that was more high on Oregon, but I don't understand how in the world Oregon is being talked about as a host as 3rd place in the Big Ten with an RPI of 27. And mind you, like, they keep just losing games that they probably should have. They didn't sweep Illinois. They didn't sweep Washington. Like I just don't. They lost the series at Michigan. Like, I just don't know how you could. They lost 1 against Northwestern. Like, I just don't know how that's a host. Like, I don't. Yeah. And again, Eugene and Corvallis are like an hour away. Like, obviously it's not. We have that happen all the time in the SEC worlds, but like, space them out a little bit.
That's all. Yeah, that's also like a bigger area of the country.
We like Mark. But Mark, you don't get 2 regionals, buddy. You only can have 1. Sorry.
Wait, we don't like Mark. You like Mark. No, I'm just kidding. I love Mark. No, but talking about Clemson. Clemson's in an interesting situation, Micah, because if they finish 4-2 and beat Coastal tomorrow night, their RPI is going to be looking really interesting, but they're going to have 18 conference losses.
Clemson, why are you my toxic ex-girlfriend?
Wouldn't it be
what was Florida's conference record?
13-17.
Okay.
And they're in the SEC, so
they are going to have to go 5-1 down the stretch. In the ACC play.
That would be wild. I would be irritated. I'd also be kind of hyped. I'd be annoyed, and I'd be alternating between the two.
The issue with that, Monty, is I'm just gonna say, based off of what we've seen, I would say that would be 2 or 3 against Florida State, and then a sweep of Virginia Tech if that 5-1 comes to fruition. Yeah. That means you've signed the death blow to Virginia Tech's at large, which feels more realistic than Clemson's at this point. Like, and also too, like Clemson has a midweek next week with Upstate, who's top 100 RPI too.
That's right. I don't
know
that
how
out.
They're going to classify because it's technically a road game, because like Upstate's
but they're doing
hosting
a neutral,
the neutral minor league park there. So I don't know how that factors in. I really don't know because like it's listed as a home game for Upstate, but they're just playing at the minor league park because their ballpark would not hold Clemson very well.
right?
At least not from a revenue standpoint, it wouldn't. But if that counts as a road game, I mean, you go 7-1. Like 7-1 Clemson is now sitting at 35-21 with an RPI of, doing the math, 28 to 32 range. That's got to be in. But then you got to look at the ACC record and you're like, because even then, that's still 13-17.
Which I don't think we've had an ACC team make it with that low record.
I wonder if the Clemson name though can do like it's a program that's hosted regionals the last 3 years, 2 years for sure. Like it's again, and you could make the argument that they're playing their best baseball. Like that would mean their record in May would be, again, we're saying they go insanely 7-1 here. That would mean the record in May is 9-2. Like you'd have to probably get a game or two in ACC tournament play.
Right.
But the nice thing is you're playing in the brackets, or you're going to play more tournament games if you want to make a run. So like if you're 12-3 in the month of May and you make the semifinals of the ACC tournament and you're sitting at 37-22 and an RPI in the 30s, I don't know how you leave that out.
Let's talk about how last week Clemson's 6-15 in the ACC, and right now we're discussing that they have a shot. It's a very long shot because they have to show us something they haven't really done all year, but it's a shot. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving along to Virginia. Micah wanted to talk about him earlier. He gets to talk about him now. They had a huge weekend win over Radford, one of the biggest series wins of all time. Just kidding. I mean, it was just exam week, and I guess normally Virginia takes.
Hit you with the text when Radford had the 5-run second inning in game 2 yesterday. Like, cancel the season. This done. I'm done. I quit.
It's funny because like
and then I check back and I'm like, oh, we're in run-rule territory again. Nice.
Yeah, it's funny because I did not pay attention to any non-conference games, like because I was like, I'm too locked in on these. So like I wasn't really, because like the thing is they're either going to take care of business or they're going to mess up and piss me off. So I don't pay attention until afterwards. And then but Virginia takes care of it. Get offense hopefully back on track. Eric Becker hopefully should be back for the Cal series. It's just been trying to get that day-to-day thing under control. It's just not, it hasn't been cooperating, but hopefully that has turned a corner. But yeah, they've got who they got left. I know they finished with Louisville. They have Cal and Louisville. So you want to take care of those series, but their hosting chances pretty much went out the door with Pitt, right? Although you did say, when we were talking about Wake Forest earlier, you argued that Virginia might be a more attractive hosting possibility.
Yeah, I don't like Monty. I have a really insane take. Last year's Virginia team is more attractive to me as a tournament team and a host than this year's team is. Like down the stretch last year, Virginia took 2 of 3 against Georgia Tech in Atlanta, then swept Miami at home, and then took 2 of 3 in Blacksburg. They in the month of May, they lost 1 game. They were 32-18. Mind you, they're sitting currently at 32-16. They were 16-11 in ACC play. Right now, that would basically mean winning out for the most part. They already have more conference losses than they had last year. I don't know, but again, this year they're a ranked team and everyone has a lot of love for them. And honestly, it was a very good point. A Boston College fan in my mentions brought up my poll today, and I had Virginia ranked 22, 23. Dropped
ahead of Boston College.
Yeah, and I dropped BC from the poll, and it's like minus that North Carolina win to start ACC play. And this is a very fair thing because I always say, well, what Georgia did to A&M first week of SEC play shouldn't hold a ton of weight. Well, then why am I doing the same thing for Virginia against North Carolina when since then they haven't beaten a ranked opponent in a series? They lost the series. They lost the series to Boston College.
And that was it.
Yeah, and again, they got swept at Pitt. They won 2 of 3 against Clemson. That's great, but like
2 of 3 against Wake. That's also great. But
yeah, but like wasn't ranked when they played them, and like Wake's not really like a ranked team now. I mean, it's fringe, but like, I mean, at least what's saving Virginia this year is a lot of their midweeks have been better. Like VCU RPI wise is a little bit better than they were this time last year. Liberty obviously is helping them a ton with the RPI,
and they won both those Liberty games.
Correct. So like, and Maryland, though not very good RPI wise, is not hurting them. Like it's just I don't.
It's interesting you bring that up because I mean, you remember Virginia also wasn't ranked at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not like they've been carried through the polls. They were ranked after the North Carolina win, and maybe that's the different argument. But no, it's funny because when you first said it, I was like, "What?" And then you broke down it number wise. It's kind of interesting, but I do think it is a lot of it that the RPI and non-conference losses last year kind of I think hurt that.
Because like their ELO is their RPI is 20, their ELO is 39. I think their ELO describes them a little bit more than what necessarily it should be. So, by the way, do y'all understand what ELO is, or am I like explaining like a language that doesn't make sense? Like, should I explain to the crowd what ELO is? Because I know we always talk RPI, but like,
yeah, he's the coach of Tennessee, Josh Elo.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Actually, it's purely what Josh Elander ranks every team. That's why Tennessee's ELO is like 46. He is like, I hate my program. No, but ELO is what they use for chess, guys. For those that don't know, it ranks players as well as overall. Like it takes player statistics and puts it into it, not just team results, which kind of summarizes probably why Virginia struggled because some of their pitching numbers are kind of bleh. But anyways, just I don't know, man. I don't think Virginia should host. As much as I would love, Monty, for you to have a regional in your backyard, and we all know what the dish looks like in the postseason. It's great, but like,
I've already made a commitment to my regional and potential super.
I wonder where that would be.
Well, I'm getting free room and board, so.
Georgia Tech giving you free room and board?
Georgia Tech is not, but I have friends in low places.
Wow. What people around the Georgia Tech world are giving you free.
So
wow, that's kind of unfair, Monty. I'm just saying I have had claim on Georgia Tech regionals the last 2 years, and you're just coming in and taking it from me.
Well, I got to do radio, so it's different. Actually, no. I'm pretty sure Wiley will probably take off from the Braves to do radio that weekend, but
UNC is giving me free room and board, aka I will
in your head. Wait, no, you're giving them free. Dang it!
I had to.
But yeah. By the way, Omaha is only 14 hours from Atlanta, so I can trim off 6 hours if they make it to a super. So. That's but anyway, but yeah, UVA's hosting chances. So guys, let's I don't know why. I think I said at the beginning of the year we were going to get 10 bids. I was feeling good about it. That's the beginning of the season. That's not happening.
I have 10 bids in my bracketology right now, Monty.
You're manifesting though, right?
I mean, 10 bids is really not that far out of the picture. I mean, like you need Virginia Tech at this point. Or again,
you also need teams not to choke in their conference tournament as well, right? Like the teams that are you don't need. The other issue with Virginia last year is the bid stealing that happened in conference tournaments, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you definitely need a little bit of help, but also too, like I will say again, the floor of the ACC this year is a lot better than the floor was last year. Like only 2 teams sit in the RPI 100s, and that's Louisville and Stanford. I want to think that Louisville might not even be in it at that point, like in terms of 100. Hopefully, they'll be in the top 100. So, again, like All right. My favorite part right now, Monty, because the bracket will be released on Wednesday. By the way, shout out to John Opelia for sending me the new tiebreaker scenarios because they were not updated on the website, but now I have them. The Cal Golden Bears will be back in the 10 a.m. slot if the tournament started today. So
9 a.m. slot?
Or sorry, 9 a.m. slots. Sorry.
Go.
So the 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Cal
is there. And the craziest part, Monty, you know who they'd be playing? The Virginia Tech Hokies.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for it to be somehow Miami and Wake Forest. Just repeat.
I thought it would be Miami again.
No, it would be a team that's like fighting for their bubble hopes.
Yeah. We will not be getting late night Boston College, though, it looks like, because it looks like they're going to be a top 4 seed.
You might get them on the semifinal day.
But it's not going to be a late weather, I guess. But yeah, so you're feeling 10 bids right now. Nick, what are you thinking? Who are the two extra? Virginia Tech and who's the 10th?
Pitt.
Who's the 10th?
Virginia
Tech and
no, it's just Georgia Tech. I had 3 hosts: Georgia Tech, Florida State, UNC. Then I had 3 locked 2 seeds: Wake Forest, Virginia, BC. Then I had NC State, Miami. Oh wait, what the heck? My math's off on my thing. That's weird. It is only 9. Weird. Because my math adds up to 64 teams, and every league is accounted for. Weird.
Do you have somebody twice by accident?
No. Because I did the graphic, and I would have noticed that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Something's missing on my end. I'll figure it out. But it's not good podcasting.
Bracketology, Micah, of Clemson, Virginia Tech.
Micah's got so many different personalities.
Yeah, he's got them all.
He's got to put on a different. He's got to take off his Big 12 hat, put on his bracketology hat.
Hold
on here, let me. Okay, we're back. Oh, sorry. You want an American conference? My bad. Okay, we'll go American.
America. That says That says USA.
No, it doesn't.
Also, shout out.
Yes, thank you, Becca.
Oh my goodness.
I'm now all in on all.
Nick? You're going to ask me a question, and then you haven't asked the question.
I'm now all in on Auburn just for Becca, by the way.
Yeah, I put Auburn at 3. Of Clemson, Pitt, and Virginia Tech, who do you feel most confident gets that 9th bid?
I mean, I think it's Virginia Tech. Because I think Clemson's just not going to be able. I don't think Clemson's going to be able to do it.
That's what happens when 2 talkers like Micah and Monty are on the show. Nick kind of gets quieted.
Yeah, it's
also bracketology, Micah. We're kind of asking the questions.
This is also true.
Oh yeah, it sounds like we could. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. It could looking like we could be getting ABS for ACC. I don't know how I feel about doing that in the postseason, like just starting it in the postseason.
I just hate it. Like I get it. You want to make the right calls, but like baseball's an imperfect game. Like,
no, it's not. It's perfect. Don't change it.
That's what makes it perfect. It's imperfect. And like again, I just think about what it means for the sport. Like, I know this is going to be such a big brain thing. The only mid-major schools can't afford ABS. So if the ACC teams have it and the Big 12 teams have it and the SEC teams have it, like now the sport's just becoming separate from everything else. Like I don't want our sport to get more expensive for schools. Like,
yeah.
I also blame the Aggies. I don't know what we're blaming them for, but I blame them as well.
For having Banana Bowl. That's why we're blaming them.
That's right.
That's right. Good job, Micah.
Stupid Texas.
Monty, I think you'd be happy to know our dear friend Jake had the worst weekend of his life in College Station, getting out of that traffic. I thought you would appreciate to know that his weekend is at least made terrible because of Banana Ball.
Your dear friend. Jake.
No, I'm telling you, you'd be happy to know that Jake suffered this weekend.
I would also like to know who's going to be on Jake duty for Omaha, so I don't have to deal with him again. I'm assuming Andrew's back on it again. If Andrew's watching, sorry, buddy.
Well, I guess I have to take care of Jake. We'll pull him in the back. We'll put him in the trunk again.
I will end up getting in trouble with him if I spend too much time with him. So, but I'm going to stick. You know what? Mike has convinced me. I'm going to stick with 10 bids. The eight teams we feel safe right now. Virginia Tech, and you know what? Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. I was going to say Clemson, but that doesn't work. Virginia Tech and Clemson can't get in.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, technically they can if Clemson takes 2 or 3 against Virginia Tech wins every other game they play. Virginia Tech goes on a run to the ACC championship game. I mean, why not?
I'm going to say 8 as well. I think it's just been a lock of 8 teams for the last 2 to 3 weeks.
You think Virginia Tech misses? Bro, come on, give us 9.
I'm not picking them now. Obviously, we'll pick them next week. I have a strange feeling that Clemson's going to be up to something and ruin a bid. That's just what the bottom of this conference has been doing. Is just been eating each other up. So,
No.
Again, the last 2 to 3 weeks, it's been 8-team locks right now, and nothing has budged.
Well, it was 17 locks, and then NC State was in a free fall, and then they kind of corrected.
Yeah. Shout out Anderson, Nance. Thank you.
Do all men just have the most random school hats on standby? Yes.
Here's my Giants hat.
No one cares.
Not a school hat, but
it's a Tony V hat.
You know what? Tony V hat. Thanks for going over on the road trip.
Could be worse. You could be an Orioles fan.
My math issue, Monty. I know you didn't care, but I figured out why I couldn't do math right. I had 5 Big Ten teams in, which then made it 64, and I had 9 ACC teams in because I put Michigan in. That's where I messed up.
All right. So, favorite part of the ACC weekend before we let everyone go, Nick. I will start with you.
Friday was my last day at the couch this season, and whole game was
Why is everything about you?
You just asked me.
You're sounding a lot like Micah right now.
Ricochet shot.
Mike, I saw Micah coming to defend you, and I had to take a shot before you got in.
That was the most fun I've had at a game in a little bit. That game was electric. That was my favorite part. I mean, that Louisville Wake Forest Friday night had everything. Catches at the wall, insane double plays. It didn't
have 2 hurt umpires. That was the night before.
No, that was the day before. And for a one-run game that was high scoring, was also very boring at the same time. But the day after, that was incredible. So that was my favorite part. Going out with a bang at the couch was a lot of fun. So
going out with a what?
What?
A what?
Going out with a wang bang.
There it is. Micah, what's your favorite part?
I have 2. One, how the frick does Dom Listy just keep getting away with this BS when our comes?
Dude, what? How does he keep doing this?
Especially when
he's getting absolutely flamed in the comments about picking Clemson sweep. They don't sweep. They're pretty much not dominated by BC, but there was never really a doubt with that game on Friday night. And I'm like, man, Dom looks stupid. And then they come back and they win the series. And I don't know what the standings are, Monty, but I'm going to assume Dom's probably still in first place going into this coming week.
Yeah, he's been in first place with Clemson before this weekend, only winning 1 ACC series. And he picks Clemson no matter what.
Getting away with it. Please tell me he at least picked Stanford against Notre Dame so I have something to hang my hat on this weekend against him. But but then also the other thing that was with the series, the Stanford Notre Dame series was such a fun series to track from afar. I didn't watch a single second of that. I'll be the first to admit that.
You're locked into the box score.
But like it was 2-0 Stanford in game 1, and then Stanford Notre Dame scores 6, wins game 1. Like, okay, whatever. Then game 2 comes around, and I dial in the 4th inning when they're threatening up 5-1, and then yes, Notre Dame wins 10-7 because they score 5 in the 8th inning. And then, my favorite was yesterday when pitching was completely optional in South Bend in the 18-13 game. That, by the way, I dialed in and saw a 6-3 Stanford lead. And then, what does Notre Dame do in the 6th? We're just going to score 8 runs. Okay, sure, go off, King. Then like Stanford wants to like push in the 9th and score 4. Like, just a weird weekend. Like I honestly, if you would have told me that based off the times I checked in that Notre Dame swept the weekend, I said no shot, but they sure did.
Love that. I have 3. No, Nick, you had 1. Micah has 2. I get 3. First one, the curse. I said it. The curse is broken. Despite everyone giving me crap for it, Wake Forest won 2 games with me in attendance. They've won 3 games this year with me in attendance. They are 3-2. We can toss out last year's records. The SID texted me, said I'm welcome back anytime because I brought the good stuff. I also got a free t-shirt. But go Nick Kurtz. And then my second one is I got on a whim the day beforehand. I just decided to go to Clemson to see Bird Ball because I had not seen AJ Colarusso in person yet this year. I'd seen him, obviously I interviewed him in person, but I did not see him pitch live in person. So not only did I see AJ Colarusso quality start, I saw a Wang Bang, second batter of the game. I saw a Kyle Wolf home run. The Wolf was feasting. I saw BC break their record for stolen bases. And my third one is the 2 ACC players from Yardley, Pennsylvania. That's Joe Tiroli of UVA and Ryan Zuckerman of Georgia Tech. This weekend, now they were playing Xavier and Radford, but still, they went a combined 10 for 21 this weekend with 3 doubles, 4 home runs, and 12 RBI while scoring 10 runs. They hit nearly 1,500 feet of home runs.
Holy crap.
So, Joe Tiroli, Ryan Zuckerman, the Yardley boys. They're good friends. Zuckerman's the one who turned me on to the fact they're both from the same hometown. So pretty cool little thing there, even though UVA and Georgia Tech don't play each other. Maybe they will in the ACC tournament. But I've been burned before, Alex and Kyle Lodis. Nick, what's your other one?
Did you say you went to the rubber match of Miami NC State?
Yeah, Luke Nixon hit 2 home runs.
Speaking of Luke Nixon, I don't know if you saw this, Monty. Luke's first home run ties the game, 3-run bomb. They show his dad.
I did see. He didn't care.
Couldn't care less. Just his hoodie is up. He's sitting there like this. Absolutely no. It's like someone told him his dog died. And then Luke hits a solo shot to bring it within 1. They show his dad again. Just
Trot Nixon is not impressed with college baseball. I love that. And then obviously Sherman Johnson hits the walk-off. But yeah, no, that's pretty funny. I also laughed because the SID was out of town tweeting and he misspelled Serrano's name. At one point we had to message him and he fixed it, but it was like, oh no, that's bad. Because we were making a joke. We're like, man, the SID leaves for 1 day and people can't spell their name. And then we found out he was the one tweeting. But shout out James at Miami, who I got to see for the first time this year.
If for some reason you're watching, please still send me that Miami hat.
I don't think he's watching, buddy. Although I said that last time the whole hat thing happened. So that's going to do it for us today. Hopefully we'll be back Wednesday with a weekend preview. We got 4 more teams off for exams this weekend. It's going to be Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Boston College, and Notre Dame. All the other 12 teams will be in ACC action in the penultimate weekend of the regular season. And then we're getting close to conference tournament time. I'll be on the road.
You know what leagues don't take off for exams? The SEC and the Big 12, because it just means different. It just means more.
Yeah, I mean, less classes is what it means. Less academic standards. So, yeah, I'm about to be on the road for 6 weeks, starting the last weekend of the regular season. So, that's
guys, where should I go this weekend? Should I go out to Arizona and go watch Arizona State, Oklahoma State, or should I just stay in Texas?
Who's Texas playing?
Texas isn't playing anybody. I just go see Baylor, UCF, TCU, Utah, Lamar versus Houston Christian in Houston. No. I will not be caught dead.
I just laughed the way you said that. By the way, Micah, you and I have been to Knoxville together in the last year.
We have. I forgot we went to Lindsey Nelson together, and I made you take my cringe pictures in the outfield. Yeah.
Yeah, and you used the outhouse there, the construction bathroom.
I did. That was a really disgusting bathroom.
We saw Tony V recruiting one of your ex-ATSU guys.
Brady was there. That's right. Wow. You have good memory, Monty.
It was a traumatic experience. I've been reliving it in therapy frequently. Our road trip together has been a moneymaker for my therapist.
Was it that bad with me?
I can't say.
Bad of a road trip companion? I thought we had a great time at the Best Western in Murray, Kentucky. What the heck?
The Skyline Chili in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, we're in an empty stadium, and I recreated the moment. Like
this is not the first time I've heard someone talk about a road trip with Micah in the car.
We also had Hayden, who has been on a road trip of his own that he didn't invite us on all season.
What's wrong with road trips with me? I thought I was a great road trip. I do all the driving.
You are.
You complain, but then you complain. Then you complain about doing all the driving, and when I offer to drive, I can't conveniently because I am not on the insurance for the rental. Yeah. Convenient, Micah.
No, Monty, you're actually a great passenger though, because you just kind of just do your own thing. We kind of just vibed on our own. It was great. We had moments where we were together and moments where we just you would have not even known we were in the same car. You were in your world, I was in mine. It was kind of great. I will always remember though our wonderful time at the coffee shop, the Starbucks there in Panera or in Murray, Kentucky, while you were editing a video for me. Good time.
Oh yeah, trying to get the internet working for that. But anyway, we've gone on enough of a sideshow. If you guys are still watching, I don't know why. Thank you, because that was just us chatting and having fun together. And I forgot we were kind of recording. So we'll be back Wednesday with a preview show. But until then, it just means less, or in Micah's case, it just means different.